Hi everyone, glad to see you again. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe online cyber network. Before we dive into the world of hacking and bank accounts, there's something super important we need to get straight. This whole chat is purely for educational purposes. We're going to explore how ethical hackers use their skills to protect us all. It's all about understanding how they keep our hard-earned cash safe from the baddies. So grab a cuppa, get comfy, and let's learn a bit. We are absolutely, positively not encouraging anyone to try any of this stuff at home. The techniques we'll talk about are used by trained professionals. These are people with special permission working for the banks themselves. They have a very specific job to do, and they do it within very strict rules. The goal here is to shine a light on the incredible work ethical hackers do. They help make the digital world, especially the bits where our money lives, a much safer place. Understanding their methods helps us appreciate the effort that goes into cybersecurity. Knowledge is power, as they say, and in this case, it's the power to be a bit more cyber savvy. Now that we've got that very important bit out of the way, let's get stuck into the good stuff. When you hear the word hacker, what pops into your head? Probably some dude in a dark hoodie, hunched over a glowing screen, right? Well, ethical hacking is a bit different. These are the good guys. They have all the same skills, the same knowledge of computers and networks, but they use their powers for good. Ethical hacking, sometimes called white hat hacking, is all about finding weaknesses in computer systems and networks before the bad guys do. Think of it like this. A bank wants to make sure its online banking system is super secure, so they hire an ethical hacker. This hacker then tries to break into the system just like a criminal hacker would. But here's the crucial difference. They have permission. They're not trying to steal money or cause chaos. They're trying to find the cracks so the bank can fix them. Ethical hackers are like the digital locksmiths and security consultants all rolled into one. They're essential for keeping all that important stuff safe. Without them, it would be a free-for-all for the cyber criminals. Pretty cool, huh? It's a bit like being a detective, but for computers. So, who are these ethical hackers, these digital bodyguards for our bank accounts? They're highly skilled professionals. Many of them have degrees in computer science or cybersecurity. They might have a bunch of fancy certifications with acronyms that sound like secret agent codes. They are often employed directly by companies, including big banks, or they work for specialized cybersecurity firms. Their job is basically to think like a bad guy. They have to anticipate how a malicious hacker might try to get into a system. What tricks would they use? What weaknesses would they look for? They're looking for vulnerabilities in software, in networks, and even in how people use the systems. These ethical hackers are often very curious people. They love to understand how things work and sometimes how they can be made to work in unexpected ways. This curiosity, when channeled correctly and ethically, is what makes them so good at their jobs. They're problem solvers. They see a complex system not just as something that does a task, but as a puzzle to be explored. And when it comes to bank security, that puzzle-solving skill is exactly what's needed to stay one step ahead of those who want to cause harm. Now let's talk about some of the methods these ethical hackers use to test a bank's defenses. One of the most well-known techniques is called penetration testing, or pen testing for short. This is where the ethical hacker simulates a real attack on the bank's systems. They try to find and exploit vulnerabilities just like a malicious attacker would. It's like giving a professional a crowbar and saying, "See if you can get into this safe, and if you can, tell us how you did it so we can make it stronger." During a pen test, the ethical hacker might try a whole range of things. They could look for weaknesses in the bank's website, its mobile banking app, or the internal network. They might check for outdated software that has known security holes. They could test if passwords are easy to guess, or if sensitive data is being transmitted without proper encryption. Another common tool in their arsenal is vulnerability scanning. This often involves using automated software tools that scan systems for known vulnerabilities. Think of it like a doctor using a stethoscope to listen for problems. These scanners have huge databases of known weaknesses, and they check the bank's systems against this list. The reports generated by these scanners give the bank's IT team a to-do list of things to fix. Ethical hackers test the human element of security. This includes social engineering assessments. They test how well employees resist revealing sensitive information. For example, sending a fake phishing email to see who clicks on it. It's about understanding susceptibility to attacks. Results help improve security awareness training. They might also test physical access to restricted areas, testing if they can tailgate or find unattended documents. They also check the security of wireless networks and ensure data is properly encrypted. So the ethical hackers have done their thing. They've poked, they've prodded, they've tried to trick people in a controlled way, remember? What happens next? The ethical hackers compile a detailed report of all their findings. This report doesn't just say we got in here. It explains exactly how they found the vulnerability, how serious it is, and most importantly, it usually provides recommendations on how to fix it. This information is gold dust for the bank's security team. It gives them a clear roadmap of what they need to do to strengthen their defenses. They can then prioritize fixing the most critical vulnerabilities first. For example, if an ethical hacker found a way to access customer account details, that would be a top priority to fix immediately. Other, less critical issues might be scheduled for later, but they all go on the list. By identifying these weaknesses before malicious hackers do, ethical hacking directly prevents potential cyber attacks. Imagine a tiny crack in a dam. Ethical hackers find those tiny cracks, those software bugs, those misconfigurations, those gaps in training, and help the bank patch them up before they become catastrophic failures. It's all about being proactive, not reactive. Now, it's super important to understand that ethical hacking operates within a very strict set of rules. The ethical part is key. First and foremost, an ethical hacker must always have explicit, written permission from the organization whose systems they are going to test. You can't just decide one day to ethically hack your neighbor's Wi-Fi to help them out. That's illegal, and it's not ethical. Consent is absolutely fundamental. No permission, no hacking. Simple as that. Once permission is granted, the scope of the engagement is clearly defined. This means the ethical hacker and the bank agree on exactly what systems will be tested, what methods can be used, and what the time frame will be. Ethical hackers are also bound by confidentiality. Any vulnerabilities they discover, any sensitive information they might encounter during their testing, it all has to be kept strictly secret and only reported to the authorized people within the bank. Professionalism and discretion are paramount in this line of work. It can be tricky to find specific stories of ethical hackers saving a particular bank on a particular Tuesday because banks keep their security successes close to their chests. You can understand why. They don't want to give the bad guys any ideas. But this work happens constantly, behind the scenes. Think of all the major data breaches you heard about from your bank. That's often thanks to these folks. Ethical hacking principles have led to the discovery and patching of major vulnerabilities. For instance, researchers frequently find flaws in widely used software or online protocols. When they find such a flaw, they report it to the vendor. The vendor creates a patch, and banks can apply it, preventing exploitation. Consider the Heartbleed bug discovered in 2014. This was a serious vulnerability in OpenSSL used by many banking sites. Ethical security researchers found this bug. Its discovery allowed organizations to patch their systems before exploitation. This was a huge win for preventative security, thanks to people looking for flaws to fix them. So, as we've seen, ethical hacking isn't about the shadowy figures in hoodies we see in movies. It's a highly professional, incredibly important field that plays a massive role in keeping our digital lives, especially our financial information, safe and sound. These digital good guys use their impressive skills to find the weak spots in a bank's armor before the actual villains can. It's like having a team of friendly spies who tell you where your secret passages are so you can seal them up tight. The benefits are huge. By proactively identifying and fixing vulnerabilities, ethical hacking helps prevent devastating data breaches that could expose sensitive customer information. It stops financial theft by closing off avenues that criminals could exploit. It helps banks maintain the trust of their customers. It also helps banks meet all those complicated legal and regulatory requirements about data protection. This whole process strengthens the overall cybersecurity posture of the financial industry. Every vulnerability found and fixed makes the entire system a little bit tougher, a little bit more resilient against the ever-evolving threats out there. Ultimately, ethical hacking is a force for good. It's about using powerful knowledge responsibly to protect and defend. Cheers to them. Thanks for watching and learning with me. Drop a comment below if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. I value your feedback. Cyber Network.